Hello. This is a short lecture to go over some of the experiences that we've received from you and also to present Cindy's experience. The experiences that we've received from some of you are focused a lot on the results. Cindy's experience is special because it focuses on that aspect of light that is generated when we use the song and the medallion. So we're going to go through both of these types of experiences. I wanted to read a couple of the experiences that have been sent in because they're short, they're easy to go through, but it gives us an idea of why we're so happy to have the song and the medallion. One said, "With the use of the Song of the Spheres, I experience a profound sense of peace, understanding, a feeling that my resistance is dissipating and my fear subsiding. I am also very grateful for the abundance it has produced around me and its assistance to live my life from a place of grace." So thank you very much for that experience. Here's another experience. "I love using the song. It is so simple, but feels really good. I like that I am helping the whole earth, which encourages me to use it as much as possible. I have also found that I get very strong and immediate results when I use it to help me with things in my life. For example, I often use the intent perfect sleep before bed and find that I fall asleep easily and don't wake up in the middle of the night. Or I say perfect energy and at the start of the day and am able to feel energetic for the whole day without any big slump. I use it also for health and personal relationships and find that whatever my intent is, that thing usually becomes easier or better very, very quickly. Sometimes nearly immediately, or at most, by the end of the day. I find that the results with the song are more immediate and targeted than with any tools we've had before." So again, thank you for that experience. I like both of those experiences because they just show how easy it is to use the song, how easy it is to use it throughout the day. Use it for little things like having energy through the day or sleeping at night, having it for great things, big things in life, projects, prosperity, different things, and to be able to see results, quickly. We like that a lot. Now, Cindy's experience. I told you a few days ago that we were going to put out a video with Cindy's experience because I always like hearing her experiences, as do you all, because she has a different point of view than the rest of us. She can see things the rest of us cannot. She can experience things the rest of us cannot. But we know that her experiences, what she sees, those things are all happening for you. They're happening for all of us. It's just that she can see them. But it helps us to understand, in addition to having a better night's sleep, this is also what's happening. In addition to having greater abundance, this is what's happening each time you spin the way of the song or the medallion. Cindy's experience is actually prefaced with an experience that she had when she was 17 years old. She was in Switzerland at the time. She was 17 and she was sitting, and all of a sudden everything around her started to fade away, to dissolve. She was taken from where she was to a distant world. She said that it felt like she was actually taken through the sun, transported through the sun to a different world. And in this world of great light, of great warmth, there were four golden beams of light. Those beams, she immediately just had this overwhelming sense of light from these beams, of warmth from these beams, of knowledge and happiness, wisdom. All of these aspects radiated with just tremendous light, with tremendous intensity from these four seated beams. Now, incidentally, these four seated beams, they were golden, and they were seated in a lotus position or cross-legged position. I'm going to show right now the Flying Seed logo, and you will notice that the Flying Seed logo has the way that we have in the medallion and in the song. It has that inner part of the way that's sort of like the number 2, and then it's got the outer part of the way that also spins, and that outer part of the way sort of looks like a person, the outline of a person who's seated cross-legged or in the lotus position. And Lantos is the one who made this logo of the flying seed. He directed Cindy to draw it very specifically. So every detail of this logo was drawn by Lantos, including the fact that there were 3 of these outlines of a seated individual, of a seated person, golden person. Now, why 3 when she saw 4? Remember, Lantos, as we have learned about the flying seed, he has talked about the realm lords represented by waxing, full, and waning. There are 3, but he has repeatedly said there are 3, but there are also 4. 1, the one that's represented with full, can be seen as 1 realm lord or as 2. So 3 or 4, it is the same. It is the same thing. 3 and 4. And in various times of the flying seed, the realm lords were seen as 4 instead of 3, which is what we see right now. So it was very interesting to Cindy and to the rest of us in my family, because we have known about this experience of Cindy's since she was 17, because she told us about it. But it was amazing that this exact form, in the form of 3 of them, was presented to Cindy as the logo for the flying seed, because it instantly gave us the impression that those 4 beings that Cindy had seen were the 4 early beings, the 4 beings that Lantos references in the flying seed that he's been telling us about for quite some time now. And in fact, all the way back 20 years ago at the beginning of biogenesis, when Cindy asked Lantos who invented biogenesis, he gave an answer where he said there were 4 great beings of light who discovered this technology. So this concept of 4 golden beings, 4 great beings of light, 4 early beings, this has been a concept that has been presented to Cindy by Lantos for the last 20 years, but in fact was presented to her direct experience all the way back when she was 17 years old. Now that was a very special experience for Cindy. Cindy said that when she was there, the light that radiated from these 4 beings was so immense. It was so profound. It was so radiant. It was unlike any type of light she had ever seen or experienced anywhere in her life. And so that alone would have been enough for her to pay attention to this experience. But her best friend at the time, also there in Switzerland, shortly after that, Cindy had her 18th birthday. Her best friend is an artist, and she presented to Cindy a painting of 4 great golden beings of light seated. And in fact, Cindy thinks there may have been 5 or 6 in this painting, but the environment that they were in and the shape of these golden beings that were seated in a lotus position, it was remarkably similar to what Cindy had seen in this experience. And she was stunned because she had only told Mom and Dad and my brother and me about this experience. She had only told her family about this experience. No one else knew about it. And here, her best friend had presented her with a painting that was nearly exactly what Cindy had seen in that experience. And she asked her friend, "What made you paint this? Where did you see this?" And her friend said that she was inspired. She was directed to paint this for Cindy and to give it to her. So she wanted to do it on her birthday. And so it was like an outside reminder to Cindy that this experience that she had was not a random experience. It was not a dream. It was not something that was just well, that's sort of interesting type of experience. This was something that was going to mean something later in life. So that was the preface to Cindy's experience that she is having every time now with the Song of the Spheres. Let's go ahead and listen and watch Cindy explain the experience that she has with the Song of the Spheres.
And now, what I'd like to share with you is my experience that I have with the song and with the medallion. Although I use the song for my practice in the day, during the day. But from the very first song and medallion that arrived, and it arrived less than 2 months ago. So from the very first one that I've held in my hands, after we initialized it in the translator, after everything was all ready, then at that moment, when I spun the inner way, there was a light radiated immediately. And the way that this light came out was it came out in spirals, in sparkling spirals of light. And these sparkling spirals were the same, made up of the same substance that the gold guys that were made up of many, many years ago, over 35 years ago. So that when I spun the inner way and the outer way, the way, they're both the inner way, when I spun them and I saw this light emerge, I knew immediately that this was the same light that I had seen many, many years ago. And I thought, wow, these small tools which we can wear around our neck or we can carry inside our purse, these small tools generate the light from this other realm, this other world. And this is what we're talking about in terms of the eon of eternal light. It's a different kind of light than what's been experienced on Earth for millennia. And this light is what we generate every time we spin the way, every time that we spin the song, every time that we spin the medallion. What we're generating is a light of the initial realm. It's the realm, what I've come to understand of these beings of light, which for decades I thought of them in my mind as simply the gold guys. And because there's no describing, there's no words that could do justice to that experience. So therefore, calling them anything that describes them is just as good as anything else. So they've always been called the gold guys in our family circle. But this small tool that we now have generates this light from this early realm. And these beings, which I saw, were the early beings of creation. And Lantos has described to us maybe 5 years ago, or maybe 10, these early beings. And he has said that there were 4 early beings. And yet when we started learning about the flying seed, and we started receiving these spin diagrams of these seed diagrams, they are the seed diagrams. They were having 3 realm lords. And then only recently, when we've received the knowledge about the flower, the golden form, the golden, it's shaped like a flower. This is where I learned that the 3 realm lords of the flying seed are the same thing as the 4 early beings. And these and the 4 early beings are expressed in these 3 realm lords. So that's my experience to share with you, is that every time we spin the song, every time we spin the medallion, what we're spinning, what we're generating is the light of the early realm, the initial, the ultimate light of all of creation. And it's a tangible light which emerges.
Okay, so as I said, it's always fun to hear Cindy's experiences because it tells us what's happening for each of us, what's happening for you every time you spin the song of the spheres, the way, or the way within the medallion. Every time you spin the way in either the song or the medallion, this is what is happening for you. That tremendous radiant light that Cindy experienced in that other realm is enlivened around you and within you every time you spin the way. Remember, just several weeks ago, Lantos gave a message in which he spoke about 1 million people will be spinning the way. 1 million people will be spinning the way of the song and the medallion. And he said by the end of this year, so we'll see if we make it on that timing, but the important part was vast numbers of people spinning the way, and what that would accomplish, he said, was it would generate the great tidal wave of light that would come upon creation. So that tremendous onset of light that Lantos first introduced to us the concept of several years ago, and then just several weeks ago he again mentioned this great tidal wave of light, that it was going to be brought about by many people spinning the way of the song and the medallion. You get the benefits of this light in your life by spinning the way of the song and the medallion several times every day. So we love the experiences. We love getting to hear the experiences from you, experiences about day-to-day aspects of life getting better, very practical things about life getting better, but we also love understanding those aspects of our experiences that we may not be able to see, we may not be able to describe the way Cindy can, but we can certainly benefit from and we can certainly experience them. Okay, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining me for this video. It's been fun talking about the experiences that we've seen so far with the Song of the Spheres and the medallion.